So in this video we'll continue with the latest offers section. In the last video we added the HTML for the 3 separate offers, and in this video we're going to be adding the CSS to make it look more like the finished project. So we're going to be adding the purple background colour for the full section. We'll also be changing the background and text colour for the 3 individual offers, and we'll also be making sure that the pricing circle is positioned horizontally in the middle of the div and also overlapping at the top, and we'll do that with some absolute positioning. So if we go over to our CSS, and we can create a new section. Let's do this at the bottom just before the mobile styling. So this is the latest offers. So the latest offers section had the ID of latest offers, and we'll just use this to create the purple background colour and set the font colour to be white, and also make sure that all the text is aligned. So first of all we'll set the text align to be in the centre. Because we're using a purple background colour or dark background colours, we want the div to have white text. And the purple background colour has the ID of 97689C. Let's take a look in the browser. Okay, so now we've got the purple background colour and the white text. So we can move on to the 3 individual offer divs. So if we look back into the index page, the 3 offers, we give them a custom class of offer, and we use that on all 3 of them. So we can select that now. So the class of offer, so we're going to set the dark background colour first. So the background for the 3 offers has an ID of 4A525F. There we go. And because these will be containers for the pricing circles, we're going to set the position to be relative. And to make them a little bit taller, we'll add a minimum height of 350 pixels high. And a little bit of padding. So I'm going to add 40 pixels on the top and bottom, and then 10 pixels on the left and right. And then next we can start adding the pricing circles. So the pricing circles were wrapped in a span tag. So we can select them using the offer class and then span. So let's start by changing the background colour. So the circles will have the colour of 8A-BBB1. And the display is going to be set to block. And we'll give these a height and width of 100 pixels. And because the price is going to be inside, we'll set the text align to be center. So let's take a look and see how that's looking so far. Okay, so we've got the 3 pricing divs appearing. We've got a different background color. So next we need to make them a circle, and then we need to look at positioning the circles where we want them. So to make those circles, we can just add a border radius of 100%. And that makes them into a circle. And then to make the text vertically aligned, we can also set the line height to be 100 pixels, which is the same as the full height of the div. And that moves the price into the middle of the circle. So because we've got a relative container to work from, we can set these pricing circles to have an absolute position. So we'll start referencing the circles from the left hand side of the container. So we'll add some margin left of 50%. to put that into the middle of the container. Now it's not quite in the middle because we need to compensate for half of the width of the circle. So let's do that now. So if we set the left, we can set the value to be negative 50 pixels, which is half of the width. And that should make them horizontally centered. And then next we can reference the circle from the top. So let's set the top. Now if we would set the value of the top to be 0, what would happen is the circle would go to the top of the container, but we need the circle to be overlapping by half of the height. So instead of setting the top to be 0, we can set the top to be negative 50, which is half of the height. There we go, so that's the positioning exactly where we want it. Just to finish off the pricing section, we'll just add the font size and the font weight. So the font size, I'm going to change that to 2 And lastly, the font weight is going to be bold. There we go. And then next we'll create some spacing. So the offer name is in a level 3 heading. So let's add some margin to the bottom just to push the text further down. And we can also increase the font size too. So below the span section, we've got the class of offer and then H3. So margin bottom is 50 pixels. And also let's change the font size to be 1.2 ems. That gives us a little bit more space below the heading. And I'm also going to add some spacing between the 2 lines below by adding some extra line height. So the 2 lines were in P tags. So the offer P, we can increase the line height to 2 ems. That gives us a little bit more vertical spacing. Now let's create some space between the divider and also the 3 special offer sections. So if you remember back in the index page, in the first row, which had the level 2 heading and the divider image, we also added a custom class of margin bottom. So we can add that in our custom CSS. And to push the 3 divs down, let's set the margin bottom to be 70 pixels. And see how that looks. Great, so that's exactly how we want it looking on the desktop view. If we shrink the browser down to a mobile size, and then scroll down to the 3 offers, we just need to make a little change on the margin bottom because the 3 divs blend into one when they're stacked on top of each other, and we can easily fix that. If we find the section with the offer class, and then we can add some margin onto the bottom of 60 pixels, and let's see how that looks. That's a lot better now, so we've got space between the 3 special offers on the mobile view. So that's it, so that's the end of the latest offers section. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next video.